Hi everyone, it's me, Sailor Venus, Mina here. And first off, there was some type of, I don't know, noise coming out of the, guess we'll call it the small speaker, since microphone's a Heleny borrowed learned word. Anyway, I think I got it fixed. Now, first off, this film is going to be about WWE should bring back the Hardcore Championship or the Hardcore Fighterhood or whatever you want to call it. Now, I know there's going to be folks out there saying, well, first there's going to be folks saying that WWE never does what any of their followers want, and I'm not even going to get into those folks because they would hate on anything no matter what. Then another side that would say that they can't bring it back. Well, it's not that they can not bring it back. It's that they don't want to bring it back would be what that one side would truly be arguing. Now, let's say they do bring it back, since there is no oversight that says they can't bring the belt back. It's not like, maybe, yeah, they picked to end the belt 16 years ago, and they could bring it back. So there is no oversight that says they can't. First off, some folks will say they can't, but they cannot bring it back since wrestlers would get blood, get caught up and stuff. But then that still happens in the fights that don't even have any. That still happens in fights to this day. Granted that they clean it up afterwards, but it still happens, So let's say they bring it back. I think that it would be one of those belts that went between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Now, in the belief that it's supposed to be played that way, you got the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships that are booked to be going between all three brands, but primarily only seems to be going between only two. Now, I'm not going to get in with that. Now, let's say bring it back, and the Hardcore Championship is a belt that goes between all three brands, all three shows. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't need who it is. But then there's going to be someone on some side that's going to bitch and say, WWE's got too many belts now as it is. Well, yeah, they do have a lot of belts between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, the UK one, and 205. Yes, they do have a lot of belts. But that doesn't mean they can't have one more belt. I mean, let's go back to WCW. They had many belts. I know that followers don't believe this, but WCW had many belts at one point. Probably so many belts that they really couldn't keep a track of all of them, but they had a lot of belts. They had heavyweight, they had television, United States, tag team, light heavyweight that became cruiserweight. They had a women's, didn't last that long, but they had it. And yes, it is true. And then eventually they went on to have a hardcore cruiserweight tag team. So yeah, they had many belts. So don't bitch about saying WWE has a lot of belts, when we all know that WCW had a lot of belts back in the day too, and no one really cared about that. Now, beyond that, the Hardcore Championship was a good belt. It gave wrestlers something to do. Wrestlers that normally probably wouldn't be on the card. Wrestlers that, they wouldn't know what to do with them. Boom, you got something to do. You're going for a Hardcore Championship. It'll give them something to do. They'd win the belt. At least it would get them it would get them worked with, It would put the light on them. Wrestlers that might not be going for, you would say, the television, either going for the Universal or United States or tag team, at least they could go for that. And if there's some wrestler ain't going for heavyweight or intercontinental or tag team, they could be going for that one. You know? And some wrestler might be going for the cruiserweight, or some wrestler might not be going. So one that might not go for, heavyweight or North American or tag team. So anyway, so it would get wrestlers something to do. They'd be on the show. But yeah, there are downsides to it, but I believe that the upsides would weigh out the downsides. And I know there's going to be someone out there thinking, oh, well, it wasn't the Hardcore Championship a stunt, a lark belt? No. See, the $1 million one, that was a stunt and lark one. The F the World one, that was a stunt and lark one. The tag team champions of the Starway, now that was a joke, though those were stunt and lark ones. Not the Hardcore Championship. It was a true belt. It wasn't one of those stunt and lark belts that, someone won, you got a good laugh out of, and then, well, whoop, it was one of those, it was treated as a true belt. Okay? A lot of folks thought it was a stunt belt, a lark thing, something that, someone won and then they laughed at you and they could laugh at you and that was the end of it. No. But I know there's going to be some folks out there saying, well, maybe they should bring back 24/7 on it if they did bring it back, and make it interesting. It did, but it is what it is, So anyway, that's all the time I have. Let me know what you think if W should bring back the W Cruiserweight Championship. I'm Sailor Venus, Mina, and I hope you like this film.